You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
The following production is part of the We Be Geeks podcast collective.
Ian, look at this.
What, it's a police box. What on earth is he doing here? I mean, these things are usually on the street. I feel it. I feel it. Do you feel it?
Faint vibration.
It's alive.
Earth Station Who, a fun mashup celebrating nearly 50 years of Doctor Who universe. Hold tight. You never know where the TARDIS is going next.
You're probably a bit confused right now. I broke the glass. It's all come back to me.
This. What is this?
That's my ship.
What?
Let me take it from the top. Hello, I'm the Doctor. I'm a traveller in space and time. And that thing buried down there is called a TARDIS. Time and relative dimension in space. You're gonna love this.
Hey there, listeners. Welcome to another episode of the Earth Station Who podcast. That's right, folks. We're back in studio tonight, and we got a good one for you. We got a really great review for you. We are going back to the 10th Doctor era, and we are looking at Turn Left, which is actually a Dr. Light story. And it was, for me, it's one of my favorite Dr. Light stories. And we got a lot to talk about, and we have a young lady here joining us who actually picked this one. Let's welcome Neisha Mulchan to the show. How are you doing?
I am doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
It is, you and I have worked together a couple times on Traveling TARDIS, and
Dragon Con.
And yeah, of course, Dragon Con. We've done some great panels actually at Dragon Con, and so we've been wanting you on the show for quite some time. So when I came to you to ask you, we want to hear about one of your favorite episodes of Doctor Who. You gave me a list like this long.
This long.
I know. And you kept on going back and and say, what about this one? And I said, we've done it. What about this one? We've done it. It's like, and you said, how can you have done all these? I said, well, we have 266 episodes. That's how we've done that already. So tell everyone a little about yourself, Neisha.
Hey, everyone. Thank you so much. And yeah, you put me through a mind wringer because I really did not think that this episode had not been talked about yet. So that's why I didn't even say it till the end, till you gave me your little hint. So I am Neisha Mulchan, and I am CEO of Diversely Geek. I'm also a family practice and neurology and behavioral health nurse practitioner. That's what I do for a living. Plus, we run the nonprofit as well. Diversely Geek is a mental wellness-based as well as a diversity-based organization that focuses on transforming fandom passion into positive action. So as Mike knows, I created a research project about 4 or 5 years ago to really flesh out the relevance and the importance and actually the influence of embracing your favorite fandom as part of your daily life, as part of your self-care. And so I wrote a research project based on that, and we researched it over 4 to 5 years with interviews, panels, podcasts, everything you could think of was actually part of our work. And then we published it for the idea or the postulate December of 2019. It was accepted and published by the National Institute of Health in it's called the Office of Behavioral and Social Sciences Research. Big old title. So that was phenomenal. And so that really fueled our wish and our hope to be able to stem the rise of mental unwellness and the lack of love people have for themselves in this world that really creates so many negative outcomes that we are really working very hard to be able to fight, including suicidality. So that's the goal. And then, as you know, we're launching the foundation in the next 3 months, where we'll be actually doing mentorship and networking workshops and wellness workshops based on the research. So there you go.
That is a mouthful, but you're doing such great work. And I'm looking forward to seeing some of your findings and actually helping you out however we can and everything.
Yes, you're going to be being part of our next research phase, So
good.
Thank you for saying yes.
Oh, of course. And I'm sure, Mike and Mary will be glad to do it also,
If you are, absolutely.
Yes. But it's great to have you here. And as I mentioned, Mr. Mike Gordon is here.
Howdy.
And Mary Ogle is here too.
Hi, everybody. It's fantastic to be here.
And yesterday was a very special day as this recording. It was Mary Ogle's birthday. Happy birthday, Mary. You look great for 21. You really, really do.
Yeah.
So we're very happy, and we're not going to
great for 81.
I think, last year was the longest 20 years I could remember, so it's okay.
Oh, man, that's for sure.
So I think we all aged over that time. It's just like, so, but it's great, that we're not going to sing to you tonight. So I think we're doing that. And I think that listeners at home.
That's your present.
That's your present for tonight.
That is the best present I've ever received.
And I think our listeners at
really
home
is.
are thanking us for that too.
I was thinking the same thing.
So, but we definitely would love to hear from you guys at home. Please write us feedback at earthstationwho.com. We definitely would love to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about this episode? Did you guys catch us last week when we did Facebook Live? Do you guys want to see us do that more often? Do you guys want us to start maybe doing these more and more, even our reviews go live, and so that way you guys can comment as we're talking and everything? Or do you guys want to see us up on YouTube? What do you guys, we'd love to hear from you guys. Tell us what you guys think. We have the time to experiment, which is wonderful. With Doctor Who, that's all we have right now.
Plenty of time.
We really have plenty of time, and we're going to do more talks like we did last time. That was a lot of fun. We had a great, great bunch of folks here, and it was nice to have the folks from the Legends of the Traveling TARDIS. Neisha, do you want to tell everyone how they can find the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS real quick?
Well, you just told them. No, just this is how we are very closely connected. We're both regular panelists on the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, where hosted by Christian Basil, and you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us also on YouTube.
Exactly. Subscribe
and watch. There's hundreds of hours of content up there. Mm-hmm. Some amazing stuff.
It helps fight insomnia just like that. It's awesome.
Great guests, just really good stuff. So,
and the two of us are up there, so it's pretty awesome. So, and we talk about some amazing stuff, and Christian is a great host. I really think Christian is doing a great job up there.
I like to challenge him.
Oh, I know you do. You like to challenge most of us, which is good.
I do.
It's a very positive thing. But we definitely, like I said, write us feedback, earthstationwho.com, and tell your friends and tell your neighbors about us, please. And if you ever have a chance, subscribe to our show wherever fine podcasts are found. And if you get a chance, give us 5 stars, and please, please, please leave us a review. All right, let's jump in and do some Doctor Who news. And there actually has been some new, not TV show stuff yet. They're keeping a lot of it hush-hush and, filming locations and stuff, of course. But we're not going to really talk about that till we know everything, written in stone. But we do have some other Doctor Who stuff to talk about. Mr. Mike, what do you got for us?
Yes, Titan Comics, who still continues to have the Doctor Who license and has been doing Doctor Who comics continuously for a little while now, announced that they were coming out with a new series in relation to Doctor Who, and this is titled Missy. So obviously it's a regarding the Michelle Gomez character, the Master, and a 4-part comic series, 4 issues anyway, and then I'm sure it's going to be collected in trade. That's going to see the first issue will be published and should be available in April. The art team is Jody Hauser is the writer. Roberta, I hope I don't butcher this name, Ingranat is the artist. Colorist is Enrica Angelini. And it's got a ton of variant covers. I definitely encourage people to seek out some, Google it or whatever. Seek out. Actually, we'll put a link to it in our show notes. There's a nice story about it on an Entertainment Weekly site that has all the variant covers, as well as some of the previews of the interior art. And it looks great. It looks like I have no doubt that the story is going to be worthy of Michelle Gomez, and it's nice to see her character getting this much love. I mean, we talked, I think, what was it, a month or so ago, about how she's getting her own Big Finish series. So now we're seeing a comic series too, which is amazing.
That is awesome. It is just really, really awesome. And Titan Comics does such a great job with their stories and their care for Doctor Who. IDW was the company that had it before, but once Titan got it, I think they took it to another level, and they've done so many different, they've expanded the universe, and they've gone back and they've touched almost on all the Doctors now. And now they're getting into, of course, Missy and everything. And I'm seeing, if Missy's coming, where's River? Why have we not seen a River Song comic book?
Deserves her own title.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Hey, if Alex is going to write a novel, maybe she can write a comic as well.
Well, exactly. I want it to be, when I open that cover, I want to be blasted away by that music. I want him to have a chip inside it.
No. You want people to buy it, Mike.
I want to
I don't mean like get killed.
Hey, I want to check out this first issue of River Song while I'm sitting in traffic. If those fans of the Big Finish will understand. So, but yes, you had mentioned real briefly about River Song having a novel.
Yeah, I guess I think we had talked about it before. I'm not sure if we did or not, but of course, it was announced that Alex Kingston is actually writing or has written a River Song / Melody Malone mystery, and that's going to be out actually pretty soon. It's going to be out on the 20th of May. So I don't know. Is that can't be a first? Is that the first time a Doctor Who actor has written a story on their character?
No, Ian Marter did a few, like Harry Sullivan.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did Harry Sullivan's War.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Back for Target books he did. And
oh, wow.
I know he also helped Tom Baker write Doctor Who and Scratchman. So
okay.
And
oh, wow, so he helped him with that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so, because Ian has written tons of novels, so, it was just a matter of time. And when he did the Harry Sullivan's War, it actually made Harry not so much of an idiot. So it's pretty awesome.
He was motivated to write that.
Maybe. I was going to say he was motivated. Harry Sullivan was getting no love. So he's like, damn it, I got to do something about that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good book. I read it back in college when it first came out. And
and speaking of Scratchman, I know that they just released that, and that was done by two Doctor Who actors, because obviously it was from a story by Tom Baker.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's few and far between, but I always dig it when, the actors just, own a character so much that they are invested so much in it that they want to tell other stories outside of that. And that's always a good sign.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's awesome. So, when is the Doctor Who novel coming out with River Song?
The novel comes out actually the 20th of May. Sorry, I thought it was this month, but it's the 20th of May.
March, May, they both start with M. It's okay.
They do.
It's interchangeable.
MA, those are MA months. So, but you know what? The way that the world's been going, May's going to be here as soon as, if I blink, right? It's happened so fast.
Remember, Mike, don't blink. Come on. Any Doctor Who fan knows that. That's just a given. Come on. Turn left.
Turn left, Mike.
Don't go right.
I would not be surprised at all to see, Missy novels coming.
Sure.
And I don't know how it's Michelle Gomez seems like the kind of actress too that's invested in the character as well. So who knows? Maybe we'll see some creative input from her as well.
Yeah, she wants to come back. So she'd come back in a heartbeat to do this character. I have really, really, really been wanting to see them flesh out the different dichotomies and parallel universes of the Master, but in a written form, so we can see, where was the Master and what was the Master's perspective at that time. You know what I mean? So that's something I'm really hoping we get to see.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I want to see Sasha Dhawan's Master very much so.
Oh, I loved Sasha's version of the Master, and especially how they did it. They played off the surprise that you didn't know it was that the Master was even coming back, and you said my master plan, and it was just awesome. And he played a bad Master. He was awesome. And, basically though, my theory with it is that that his Master actually is the Master after John Sims' Master, and that he eventually evolves into he evolves.
That's exactly what I think.
I think he evolves into Missy. Yeah. I would love to see that. That would be a nice little wrench. And it would be actually nice to see Chibnall do something like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that would be beautiful homage and a great tying together.
Mm-hmm. So. Exactly. Because, Missy was crazy. No saying about it. But, slowly, Moffat was trying to turn her, more, like the Doctor was trying to help her and such. But he's done that. The Doctor's tried that a couple different times.
So many times.
But it was, but the Master we're seeing now is more crazy, more, angry and everything, more like the Sim Master and everything. So I think that would be a neat evolution type thing and everything. Just my opinion. So, that's cool. I think,
more Master. Well, I know that a lot of them are appearing on that Big Finish.
Yes.
Master box set.
Yes.
So.
Is anyone going to be getting that one, or?
Well, it's got a Missy adventure, so maybe.
Okay.
I mean, they've already taken so much.
Yeah,
of
we
my
just
money.
finished listening to the River Song series with all the Masters, with 4 Masters on it, and the Missy one I think we all agreed was the best one.
Oh yeah.
So, and obviously anything after Missy is not ready. Like Big Finish doesn't have access to do anything with that yet.
Not yet. Too soon. Hey, I'm just happy we're getting River Song. I'm happy we're getting Tennant. And not Dr. Nine is coming right around the corner. And, which is really exciting stuff, I
don't know. Have we seen John Sim do anything? Is he doing a voice on that?
I thought he was on the box set.
Is he?
His picture's up there. So,
okay.
I
couldn't remember if he was, because I knew that Derek Jacobi was.
Yes.
But I didn't recall if his was or not. So that's cool.
It'd be very interesting to see. And if only we had something called the internet to look it up,
Let's see. What do we say?
Exactly. And it's interesting because with the Master stuff, they are touching on so many different levels. And I love, what they've done. They've made the Master interesting. They've made him very, very...
Absolutely.
And, there's certain Masters we're not big fans of. But
that's a fun character to explore, a fun relationship to explore.
For me, the Master is one of the biggest, most important characters to explore because of the foundation that was laid in terms of how the Doctor's evolution.
Wow.
How much of an impact it has on the Doctor's life. So, and like you said, Doctor's always trying to heal Master, right?
Oh, exactly. Masterful, which was just released January 2021.
Okay.
Right on the middle of the album cover, or cover for it, is John Sim. And he is listed as,
making his Big Finish debut.
So, yeah, because you have Jeffrey Beavers, you have Mark Gatiss, Michelle Gomez, Derek Jacobi, Alex McQueen, Milo Parker, Eric Roberts, and John Sim. That's
excellent.
Not bad. And it's actually on sale right now for $19.99 to download.
Nice.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, that's a good price.
But yeah, I think you're right. The Master is. I mean, the Master. There's a lot of monsters and races of like Daleks, Cybermen, and etc. that are great Doctor Who continual foes. But the Master is more personal. It's almost like that Batman Joker relationship, and sort of like that. I like the fact that because we don't really know a lot about the Doctor's history and exactly like when he and the Master first encountered. I mean, there's different sort of stories as to how they met and all that sort of thing, their history. But I like the fact that it's kind of multiple choice, just like the Joker's origin, and that we don't really know what, and hopefully we'll never know definitively, because I think that adds to the,
the flavor.
The flavor of them, both characters.
Well, exactly, and that's why I don't really want the Doctor to be the timeless child. I want the Doctor, her background, just be a mystery. You don't know everything, even though my gut is saying that the Master and the Doctor were once married.
Oh
God, yes.
Yeah, don't they act like it? Come on.
Yeah.
I have my instincts about this whole timeless child thing, so let's see if it plays out.
I think that'll play out with the 60th anniversary, like we said last weekend, or when we did our last show, and I think we'll find out then what is up with it. Same thing. Think we'll find out about Dr. Ruth and everything like that, and which I totally love. I totally loved her character.
Yeah.
And I want to see more of it. So we'll see. We will see. But I think that's it really for Doctor Who news. We're not talking about any of the rumors going on. We're not going to talk about so-and-so says that blah, blah, blah is blah, blah, blahing. And, we're not going there. And, there's enough other podcasts that will talk about it. Not that we're telling you to leave. Please don't. We need all the listeners we can get on the show. But after the show, go look it up and listen all you want. But we definitely would love to hear from you guys. Feedback at earthstationwho.com. Let's take a quick break, and we are going to be back in a minute with Turn Left.
We're the Con Guys, as in Comic-Con, and this is the Con Guys Show, coming at you straight from the heart of Hollywood, California, with the news, celebrity interviews, and fun-loving opinions to help fuel your passions. We are your ultimate insiders, filmmakers, writers, actors, costumers, gamers, panelists, but most of all, we are fans. And whether it's sci-fi, collectibles, comic books, gaming, animation, cosplay, or fan conventions, if you love it, we cover it. Your behind-the-scenes look at all things con.
Found a body, sir. The doctor is dead.
Who are you?
Oh my God, the stars are going out.
None of this was meant to happen.
Look out!
On your back. What am I supposed to do? I've been pulled across from a different universe because every single universe is in danger. It's coming, Nana. It's coming from across the stars and nothing can stop it. What is the darkness?
Welcome back to Earth Station Who, and now we are going back to the 21st of June, 2008. Wow. Can you believe it's that long ago already? It just feels like yesterday that I turned left. It's actually kind of crazy. It's great because this is the heart of the David Tennant era, and there's only 2 more episodes after this one with the Doctor and Donna, and this actually was a Dr. Light episode, and it was a lot of fun because Catherine Tate, I think most of us were like, oh, Catherine Tate? I hated her character in The Runaway Bride. Why is she coming back? Oh, God. But Donna knocked it out of the ballpark. She was amazing. And I could say there's 2 companions who have done that. We've done that with, that we've pretty much eaten crow. Because Donna was the first, and then we had Nardo that we were like, Oh, Matt Lucas. Oh, he was awful in that Christmas special. He's going to be awful as a companion. What? He got killed. How can they reattach his head? What are they going to do? But this is, an episode that really, she had her acting chops out big time. And Catherine Tate was amazing as Donna. And it was cool to see Donna, basically, who was not affected by the doctor. So she was the self-centered. She was the person that we met in the Runaway Bride that we didn't like. And it was really interesting to see how she played it and dealt with an alternate universe. So, Neisha, why did you pick this one?
Oh my goodness. First of all, it's an episode that has it's left a ripple effect in terms of the Hooniverse, at least for myself, and for most people who I ask about or who I discuss it with, because the precedent that this episode sets in terms of the Doctor and the Doctor's place in the world and in this universe, and who would the Doctor be without that companion? Or what is the fallout of a Doctor? For me, it just gave us a window into understanding the world outside of the Doctor, but that's also literally enmeshed in everything that has to do with the Doctor. And for me, Donna is probably one of my number one companions, has always been, and I've been watching forever. So it gave me so much joy to see her have the opportunity to grow into her own being, into her own self. So.
No, exactly. She became very selfless in this episode.
Yeah, she had to be.
Yep, exactly. And you saw her evolve into it too. And it was really, really well done. I thought, I remember loving this the first time I saw it, except for a certain part. But, we'll talk about that. But it was, I love what if stories. And this is a true what if story. And it was neat to see just by one event, literally you saw
everything,
the world pretty much fall apart because the Doctor wasn't there for one thing and then wasn't there for another and another and another because of what happened with one adventure. Just because one person turned right instead of left, which was real interesting. Mikey and Mary, what about you guys? This has been a while since you guys have seen it. I love this
episode.
How did this hold up for you?
Yes, there is one certain part that I think it doesn't need to be there, but Catherine Tate's performance is phenomenal. I mean, just watching her, it is fascinating to watch her journey. And it's actually a whole microcosm of her journey over the season and how she grows as a person, as a human being. Mm-hmm. And it was masterful watching that. And also Bernard Cribbins, just.
Oh God. I forgot how much I loved him.
So powerful, so understated and powerful. And just that scene where they're taking the people away in the truck.
Oh my God. She's running after them.
Yes. And the sadness in his eyes, the knowledge. And when she finally realizes what's really happening, and it is, it's heartbreaking.
The pure darkness of it, honestly.
Yes.
But this decision to allow this episode to actually have an undercurrent of darkness that I think we didn't expect it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's moments of, frivolity in it, but every time there's lightness, it's very quickly undercut by what's really going on.
Next.
Yeah, it's really a amazing work we forget, sometimes how good Russell T can be when he's on his game. And it would seem, just looking at it, that this story, it's a Dr. Light episode, as Mike said. It's an episode that's basically a prelude to the big 2-part finale. It's it's the return of a major character from the past. Like there's all these things going on, and yet at the heart of it, you can take all of that stuff away, because at the heart of it, it's about Donna. It's about the choices that we make and how, like, not to put too much pressure on it, like Donna has, but it's not like, the world will end or the universe will end, but like how every decision that you make sort of, has consequences and has, different paths that you can take. And also on the Doctor's side, we see, you want to talk about dark, that scene where they're carrying the Doctor's body out and his arm drops and the Sonic drops out of his hand. It's like, that's a really, like, that image has stayed with me since I saw this episode. It's creepy. And that's dark. And then, a lot of the other things that happen, although they seem kind of like, they were the moments that Doctor saved the Earth, but then we see it from our perspective, what would happen if he didn't. And it is pretty devastating. A lot of those effects. And we see that, I think the darkest one, and I want to give also a little MVP award to Jacqueline King playing Sylvia Noble. I don't think she gets as much, promise, but in this, to see her just get like more and more defeated, more than anybody else. She just gets like crushed, and she is pretty much a zombie by the end of this. And you watch her journey, and it's just horrible as well. There's so much going on with this one, whether, I think the fact that the Doctor has consequences, and without the Doctor, it's just like, I think later on in the 2-parter coming up, spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen that, but they're going to ask the question, they're going to present the thing that if you are with the Doctor, you are going to die. Like, the Doctor ruins lives. The Doctor kills people. Like, if you hang around the Doctor, you have a element of danger. Like, it's dangerous, right? But right before Russell T goes to make that statement, he has this episode that shows you, look what happens if the Doctor's not around. Like the universe dies.
It's like out of this relationship.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. He saves a lot of lives, and the people who join up with him are willing to sacrifice their own lives for others, which I think is a pretty interesting way to look at that relationship. And it's really well put in this seemingly like, just throwaway episode.
No, agreed. And interesting, even though like they even touched on like Martha and, how she sacrificed herself to give the oxygen to that other medical student. And she hadn't even met the Doctor, and she was, showing that she was a true hero anyway. But, for them to mention, that Sarah Jane tried to rescue the people at the hospital.
And her little kid crew.
And the kiddie crew, exactly, was there with her. And then Torchwood going up against the Sontarans.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing. And how Rose knows all this stuff is, that Jack was going off to Sontar, to be experimented on, and, all that different stuff. And it's just
She's
amazing.
Tapping in the power of the moment.
She has to.
Now it makes sense.
They don't 100% flesh it out even in the 2-parter later on, but I guess whatever. Leave it and let it be. If they ever want to come back around to it in the future, whatever, let that be. I think they would kind of let that door open. But
it was interesting. There was a few things that they brought up in this episode that was never touched on again, and some of it was the Rose stuff, but also the planets going out and everything and such. Because in the next 2-parter, the Daleks steal planets, but they weren't stealing star systems and such. And so they never explained why these stars were going out and in it and everything. And it's like, oh my God, is it the Pandorica happening already?
That's what I thought. That's because about the whole thing about the stars going out. I wondered, is that Stephen Moffat's answer?
Because if, yes, they do steal the planet. So you would think, okay, well, all the stars will then disappear at the same time. But the way they disappear here looks like it's a little bit more like a gradual process rather than just like yank and then they all go away.
Well, they were sitting there watching it. Look, that star's going up. That star's going up.
Constellations disappearing.
Exactly.
So I actually want to find that answer out. And yes, I completely said, yes, it's the Pandorica. Moffat went and said, I'm going to touch on it a little bit and give some homage here. I still want to know what that story is. Or was that story only specific to that universe, which is now no longer exists?
No, because Rose was saying it's happening all across all the different dimensions.
Yeah. Well, they were collapsing into each other, all the parallel universes.
Exactly.
That is discussed at some point later on. It gets touched on a couple times later. I think what that did is it throws open this, what resounds for me, yes, is seeing the Doctor's hand. I completely agree. The Doctor's hand falling out as lifeless and as human as anything we've ever seen the Doctor be is to just watch that hand falling out from a gurney under a white sheet. And the Sonic just falls to the floor. And it's as if all of this power just becomes null and void. Because in all of the power that the Doctor has had for all of this time, in death, the Doctor is equal to all other beings. Right? You're no longer able, there's no more influence, there's no more impact. And then we lead into all of, this choice to just keep flashing, flash forward, flash forward, flash forwards. They're just so impactful. And you're seeing this peeling away of all of the impact of not having the Doctor there. And all of these things that could just have been different if Donna had just made the choice to turn left. And I don't want to put pressure on Donna. Donna was already having so much pressure on.
That's true.
For God's sakes, she grew up in a very difficult family. Her grandfather's fantastic father and mother, but at the same time, she was always, always, always feeling less than. Always feeling less than. Always in a state of, I'm nothing. I'm just a typist, a secretary from Chiswick. I'm nothing. I have no value. I'm not worth. What are you telling me? And that moment where I'm sorry, because I'm like going off right now. So.
No. This is your segment, dear. Go for it. This is your pick. You go, girl.
These are very valid points.
Yeah, those moments. This is the reason why I love Donna. I didn't need this episode to understand this about her. I always knew that this was how she was written. She was written as a character who was constantly in the need of understanding her own value and her own worth. From the moment you saw her in Runaway Bride, that's a two-dimensional character. They created her two-dimensional on purpose because she was going after the thing that she thought would give her value, which was love and marriage, right? Mm-hmm. And to be able to have a little bit of a job that give her some money. So when when she realizes and the Doctor just jumps into her life, I can be more than that. Whoa, wait. I can, hey, spaceman, I can, join the spaceman and I can save London. This is crazy. And yet she did it and didn't believe it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
She still constantly sat on the cusp of, yeah, but I'm nothing. He would have done it without me. Only to find out in this episode, nope, not at all. Could not have happened without you.
Well, it gets the same way, literally. Like, sometimes my wife looks at me and goes, what would I do without you? And I say, live and be happy. It's it's literally the same thing, if, and everyone has this point in their life where it could change your whole life depending on one simple thing. And it's pretty amazing that they went that direction. And I would love to see more Doctor Who stories with that, with other characters.
With beetles on their back?
Oh, of course. Everyone needs a beetle on their back.
Ringo. Donna is a character that's defined herself by how everybody else speaks about her. Mm-hmm. She has to find her core. And, the Doctor is one of the things that helps her do it, but she finds it herself in this episode. And that's one of the reasons why I love this episode is that it's all about choices. And I like to think of pair it along with Midnight, because it's also another episode that's all about choices and sacrifice and what you will ultimately decide to be. Are you going to be just the flight attendant, or are you going to be the one who saves everybody? Are you going to, RTD was good about, especially in the later episodes, exploring what lay underneath the superficial.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I 100% agree with that.
And it's interesting. It's that the choice that she has to make, whether to turn right or left, is not like a choice where you have an angel on one side of you and a devil on another, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, they're two valid choices. On the outset, they seem like they're, as a matter of fact, to turn right and to, look into taking a permanent job. Maybe not downtown London or anything like that for a major company, but to work for a smaller company and that kind of thing. It's a safer bet, sure, right? I mean, obviously that's why the mother is pushing it on her. But she also, I think the mother also realizes that Donna hasn't found herself. And so therefore she's like, take the safe thing, right? Take the safe thing and you'll be much better off that way. So it's not like it's a bad, evil route. Like, it's not like she knows by taking this, there's any hint that the universe is going to be in danger. Instead, it seems like the safe call. Like, hey, there's a permanent job. I mean, look, speaking of someone who's currently unemployed, like, like turning right doesn't sound like a bad idea. But you're right, Mary. At this point, she doesn't really know herself. And so she's not confident enough to know why she wants to. It's just her instinct that's telling her to turn left because she wants to explore that more. And the mother just kind of degrades that and says, oh, you're just looking for a wealthy man to hook onto. Yeah. When I don't think that's right, but she doesn't know herself well enough to argue that point.
I think that's a great point. And to flesh it out more, the simplicity of saying I'm going to make a left or a turn or a right turn at that crossroads in your life is a beautiful decision because it was so simple and very easy for us to visualize it, right? But like you're saying, the left turn for her was about looking at the thing that she felt more connected to, that was right for her as Donna. But the thing about Donna is that the pressure to always turn the other way was about doing what everyone else expected of her. Mm-hmm. Her becoming the person that her mom thinks she needs to be. Because that's certainly not something that Wilfred was doing. Wilfred's like, Donna, go be your own person. Mm-hmm. But constantly saying, Donna, go be your own person. Look to the stars and it's going to come to you, But she can't believe that because she has another little voice saying, you're a two-dimensional being, just do the thing that's safe. Right. So, I think that's a challenge that everyone can face in life and probably faces it at least one time in their growing life is, who am I? And do I follow the thing that makes me joyful, or do I have to go with the safe bet? Not that the safe bet's wrong, like you said, because sometimes it's the right thing to do in this moment. So it's a real great revelation on RTD's part, because to be fair, in any other world, going right, except for the doctor, would have been just as kind of a thing to do.
Well, I also think too, knowing Russell T as we do, I don't think it's a coincidence that one way, the safe way, is right, and the more exploratory way is left. I think, knowing his politics, I think that's done on purpose as well. It's not in your face, heavy-handed, Chibnall, but it's
Wow, are you trying to say something, Mikey?
But it's there as well. But yeah, and I also Russell himself is right now having a great moment too. His new series, It's a Sin, just hit on HBO Max, and he's been doing a lot of press for that. And one of the things I know he brought up is that he thinks that the BBC should bring back or explore a Doctor Who universe, like sort of he had when he was in charge with Torchwood and with Sarah Jane Adventures and whatnot. He thinks that would be the best, the thing that the BBC could do to really like booster the franchise up like so many others have been lately. And I do find it interesting that at this time where he's saying this, we're looking at an episode where we're seeing the culmination storyline of all of his Doctor Who universe, really. Like the next two-parter is his like Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Literally.
I do have to say I have druthers about the fact that he, for everything that he gives Donna, for all of the validity, credibility, the love, this sense of self and awareness, he takes it away at the end.
Yes, I will never forgive him for that.
I will never forgive him for that. Honestly, I hope he hears this. I will never forgive him for having done that, because then what you've done is all the good you've done with the growth of this character and in self-awareness and being, you have now said, but you know what? It can all go away that fast at the hand of someone else, because when you do the right thing, you're taking a risk that you lose it all. Mm-hmm. And I get it, but at the same time, I can't.
Well, actually, it makes it even worse when the Doctor's making the rounds at the end and you see Donna getting married. And it's like, well, it's okay because she found a guy and got married.
That's right.
She was able to turn right after all, right?
Thank you. Unfortunately, exactly. I feel like that's exactly what he did. He turned around and made turning right the right thing for her. No, I don't think that would have ever been her choice.
Yeah, that's the real tragedy.
Yeah, it is. It was a bad decision, and then I mean, of course, obviously, in my world, I'd have Donna back. So, any day, bring Donna back. But I think that one of the points you made, Mike, was what about how Donna's mom, the journey into depression and how real that was.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and extremely
the vacancy of that face, that was absolutely just stunning.
And the final straw was that other family being taken away. It's like she snapped right there. You literally saw it happen.
Yeah.
And it was just like, and because she didn't, especially when they realized where they were going and everything, it was not going to be pretty and everything.
No, but you just saw it gradually. I mean, yeah, it wasn't like an overnight thing. She was gradually getting worse and worse when Donna loses her job and when Donna, and I think, she had so much, I don't know if she had hopes for, I mean, it's not really clear exactly like her relationship with Donna, but she's kind of a one note figure, but I still think that the actress really makes it more compelling because of, that sequence where everybody's singing the lyrics to Bohemian Rhapsody and she's singing in the middle, but she's, you can tell her heart's not really in it. And I'm like, I'm sorry, if your heart's not into singing Bohemian Rhapsody, something's wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree. I wholeheartedly
agree. Wayne's World.
I think that scene was extremely telling of the world and the universe or the universe at the time, that while to someone's ears it was noise, but when you all sing the same song that you all enjoy, you're all coming together in this unified way to be able to sing together, even in the midst of not just chaos but destruction and degradation.
Oh, exactly. And that's why you saw them doing sea shanties and, just sitting around the living room and singing. And it was because it was their way of coming together. There wasn't anything else to do. Like Donna said, there was no jobs. There was nowhere else for them to live. They were stuck living in a kitchen and a cupboard. It was horrible. And, it was just amazing to see how every reaction and every scene you did see Donna's mother sink lower and lower and lower. I think she was okay with everything until London got destroyed. Mm-hmm. The look on her face on the TV, because Donna was too busy trying to see the thing on her back to even pay attention to that. But the mother was like, this is real. And it was just, and that's from that scene on, I gained new respect for the character, and for the actress was just awesome.
I know the scene that haunts me, or the scene that I took away from, is the one right before that, where she's going through Donna's stuff after she got fired, and she basically says to Donna at that point, "It's like I've given up on you."
Yeah, Exactly. After she was the one who told her to go get that job.
That's correct.
Yeah. Well, that's what Jess, she's like, well, you can't even keep that job, and
but you blamed it on Donna.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's a devastating thing for a child to hear from a parent.
Yeah, I'm not defending her.
No. No.
Yeah.
And no, she does not win Parent of the Year at all.
No.
Now, granted, she's going through her own depression, grief at the loss of Donna's father.
Yeah, she's taking it out on Donna. It's pretty clear.
which we I think here mentioned in this episode more than like the entire run of the show, like combined.
Yeah, and I think that was a very wise choice.
Yeah. So, I do think it was also interesting, like this episode shows you what the universe would be like without the Doctor, or without specifically the Doctor having a companion at the right time. And then, of course, after the two-parter, the next season, Russell and David would look at what would happen, what would the Doctor's life be without a companion, and we see that it doesn't end well.
It does not go well.
So I find that interesting as well. But I know that you've been trying to avoid it, Mike, but we got to talk about the other big thing.
No, we don't. We do
we
not.
Have to bring it back.
No.
Because
we all avoided it.
Can we first talk about the bug on Donna's back before we talk about
and how bad the production was?
Oh my Lord!
I don't know. Compared to the Third Doctor spider from Mars kind of thing, this looked great.
I don't know. I think it was about the same.
Yeah, I thought it was just about. I thought I was waiting for her to turn around and it'd be Sarah Jane with a spider on her back or something. No, but
I mean, it wasn't bubble wrap.
It wasn't. That's a good plus.
It wasn't.
All right, so
bubble wrap.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the Doctor just offhandedly said afterwards, "Oh, it has something to deal with the Trickster or the Trickster's race."
Yeah.
And you saw the Trickster a lot in the Sarah Jane adventures. You didn't see really in Doctor Who. So the first time I saw that went, right over my head because I had no idea who the Trickster was at the time. And it was real interesting. So I assume that lady, the fortune teller, was probably from Trickster's race, and she was trying to do control it or something.
It's not really well.
They didn't even really set.
Really,
They didn't really play that. They just let's do it this way. They didn't even really play what planet they were on.
Yeah, it didn't really.
They didn't
matter.
Explain that at all.
It didn't matter.
Who did this in the first place?
What was nice though was when the episode starts, you see the Doctor and Donna just kind of going through this marketplace, this alien marketplace, having fun. And you don't see that a lot in Doctor Who. You don't get the idea that there's other adventures or that, in between drama, they actually kind of hang out and have cool stuff happen, and have downtime. So that was kind of nice to see that at the beginning of this. But wow, you really don't want to talk about Rose.
Oh, don't you mean Bad Wolf?
Oh my Lord!
You can say what you will and everything like that. This was what most people took out of it, right? Because this was the big deal. This was something that I guess Russell T and Billy worked out when she left, that she was going to actually return in a little while. And she said she was willing to do it, and here she is. And I think throughout this season, we had seen Martha returned, and we saw other things happen as well. But boy, I think we all expected Billy to not return ever, and here she is.
Well, remember, she'd returned in the first episode of the season, too.
That's true.
Really briefly.
Briefly, right.
Yeah. And so that's where, and even Donna would say, "Oh, you're the girl from the alley," that, so she had remembered her. But it was just interesting to, have Rose, be the soothsayer, basically, in this episode. She knew everything that was going to happen. She knew, Donna, you have the winning ticket for the sweepstakes. Use it, basically, or you're going to die, So so she basically was almost like the narration in this. She was like pushing the story along.
Yeah, but you know what? They could have done it without that. I really don't
I
think
agree
she
completely.
was necessary at all.
Sure.
They just sort of scissored her in there and, made her this, recite all this exposition when they could have just shown it.
Yeah, because basically what's happening here is Rose is popping in to, see the doctor for assistance or whatever, and finds out that, oh, he's dead. Like, so now what do I do? And then she has to spend the rest of the time trying to get the doctor back and fix things. And so that's what basically her role in this is. And then, when time snaps back to normal or whatever, then it's like this never happened. So really, yes, it doesn't really need Rose per se. But I don't know. I think, as I don't have as much hate as you guys do for Billy and Rose. But I must admit, I mean, it's not really as hugely satisfying to see her in this role. Except I did think like the scenes with her and Unit were kind of fun, when she's taking Donna in there. I think they could have
left the Unit parts in, but Rose didn't need to.
I said she and Unit.
Look, I loved Rose in the first season with 9.
We all did. We all did.
Yeah, absolutely. I loved it. I could not stand Rose after that.
Yeah,
sorry guys. I'm sorry, Billy. I like you. You're great. You're not the problem. You're not the person issue.
Yeah, I mean, the character changed in a really annoying way.
Sorry. Okay, there you go. I got my angst out for a second, but I don't like that. Well, I do think the one moment that was maybe could not have happened without Rose being there is that Donna needed to have someone who was fueling her positivity. So when they're having that the discussion at Unit, however Unit happened to get in the middle of all of this, per se, and Donna's yelling because she's just in a state of frenzy. I'm nothing. I'm nobody. I'm just a secretary. What do you want from me? What can I do? And then Rose is like, but Donna Noble, you are the most important person in the whole universe. So,
gee, we haven't heard that before.
I think that's when we needed Kate Lethbridge Stewart.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that could be. But what's interesting about that, too, is that, yes, I mean, Moffat will play on that, too, and people will get tired of the companion being, quote, unquote, the most important. But here's what Moffat's saying in this story. If you are the Doctor's companion, that makes you the most important person in the universe.
Yeah,
no matter
pretty
who
much.
you are. Because if the Doctor doesn't have a companion, bad things will happen. And if the Doctor is, the bad things will happen to everybody, the Doctor as well as the world.
Well, we knew Graham was already the most important person in the universe.
And he still is.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
That never changes.
That will never change.
Oh my goodness, you guys! I swear. I mean, I do feel it in the moment when they were looking at the stars, constellations, and she has to, and she's seeing that level of darkness as a physical manifestation that turning her around to Rose and saying, "I'm ready." Maybe it was her saying to herself she's ready. So I think maybe RTD putting Rose is somewhat gratuitous, but I get it's gratuitous so that, fans would definitely be more connected to the episode, I guess, because you're seeing these two great characters together. Great characters, but, I think that in that moment, she did need to have a catalytic force, and maybe in that moment, it needed to be, okay, sure, they chose it to be Rose. Could it have been someone else? Could have been Martha,
I'd be off for that.
So I do think it could have, it was a character, a catalytic character was an important character to have there. Did it have to be Rose? Not necessarily.
No, you're right.
Not
right
at all.
about that. Except to prelude as the what's to come, obviously, because
yes,
and the Bad Wolf stuff, right? But yeah, I also think it was really interesting that scene, going back to that line, that scene where Donna confronts, Rose and says, you said I was important, but it's not me. It's this thing on my back. That's what's important. Right. And then Rose says something interesting. She says, we scanned you separately. And there's something with you as well. There's something about you as well. And I do wonder if that, she seemed to imply that was even without her meeting the doctor. So there's something special about Donna Noble, even outside of her meeting the doctor, which is much more a thing that you'd expect from Moffat to do. Right?
Yeah, but then you say it and then you do nothing with it later on.
Right.
Well, you do.
Well, didn't really have much time.
But I mean, you actually undermine it in the rest of the series.
Undermine it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. You turn around and you undo it. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Who else would you have seen as that catalytic character if it wasn't Rose?
It could have been Jack. It could have been. I mean, River. I mean, she's not. She only made her debut like 2 episodes before this.
I was about to say River was brand new at this point.
Still, but
wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. So,
yeah.
But yeah, it would have been interesting to I could have done with anyone, but but it's interesting because I had read an interview with Billie Piper before this episode was being produced and everything, and she said after she worked on Doctor Who, she actually had gotten her teeth fixed for other roles and such, and so she had false teeth to give her the Rose look a little bit. That's why she looked like.
Well, that's what that was.
And everything. She said she had to learn how to talk like Rose again, literally.
Wow, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that you actually went to some other sources involving Billie Piper.
I was bored that day.
Oh my gosh, poor Billie Piper.
I must have been flossing teeth or something. It was either that or cutting my toenails. I don't know.
I mean, I did not like Billie Piper's performance here either. But no. I don't actually blame her for that. I think it was more the role that she was given to play, because it was just a lot of exposition.
Yeah, she is kind of like she's going to play it much better later on when Moffat writes her as the moment.
She's great at that. She's great at that.
The role is about the same. I mean, it's written better later, but it's kind of like.
Well, I did see it as the same now that you said that. I didn't even think differently. I just was like, oh, okay, cool. This is just a graduation or the evolution of this particular character. Were you the moment then, I love the character the moment. I even cosplayed the moment because I thought it was a fantastic choice.
And if you guys go back and listen, I actually liked Billie Piper as the moment.
Yeah, I know. You did.
Yeah.
No, that's why I mark you as a Rose hater first and foremost.
Yeah, exactly. Well, but I agree with everyone here that we all love her in season with Dr. 9, where 10 she became.
I liked her in 10. I liked that first season with 10 as well.
She's like, oh, I love. Well, she only did one season with 10, so.
Well, but I mean, I like that first part of that.
Oh, okay. The first.
I like them. I like their chemistry. I'll go on record. I'll say it. I mean, I wouldn't put her in my top 10 of companions, but she'd make maybe 11 or 12.
Well, there you go.
I am not a fan of the schoolgirl crush or schoolboy crush or anything else. It doesn't need to be anywhere near science, but it's just my take on things.
Mm-hmm.
I think that fantasy writing and sci-fi writing in and of itself with a really beautiful delicate storyline is gonna engage you anyway. You just don't need to put all of that in there, but romance has to be thrown into everything.
Yeah, I know. It was just like, really, it did not need to.
He had by that time he had 10 incarnations. To explore one incarnation that he falls in love, I think was okay. I mean,
it always felt creepy to me because of the uneven power dynamic.
Exactly.
I 100% agree.
Talk about going for someone a lot younger than you. Come on. That's like me going after a 20-year-old now. Come on. So
she was 20 at the time. It's crazy.
Exactly. It just didn't work, and I know all the Tenet fangirls are like, "Oh, how dare you say that, sir?" But we said it. We said it.
We said it.
Yes, we did. So, any other last-minute thoughts before we go ahead and rate this one?
I do think that we have to mention that the episode was directed by
Graham Harper.
Graham Harper, who has been with Doctor Who almost as long as there's been Doctor Who, like in some capacity. I mean, he worked on a lot of the old school classic series, and then came back and directed this. And it's fantastically directed. So, certainly no loss in talent there, so to speak. But he directed, I think, some episodes before this. But yeah, I just think it's cool whenever his name pops up.
It is awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
And it shows
Graham Harper
you,
is just
this
awesome
is another
anyway.
message. This is another note to Chibnall. It shows you that people who worked on Doctor Who previously to your run can still contribute valuable things to the franchise.
Yes. Oh my God.
You
Can we get that? Can we get that?
To start completely over with everybody.
Exactly. I'm so glad we're recording this. I am so glad we're recording. Yeah, we're recording.
If only we could have him listen to it.
I know. We could strap him down and have him listen to it.
There's some value in having someone on board who knows the history of the show really well and the history of the writing really well. Just a little bit of value to it. Just I think about it.
All right, Neisha, this was your episode. 1 out of 5 TARDISes, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. What do you got for us?
I 100% put this at okay. I'm a really rough person when it comes to scoring things. I'm pretty hard on shows, but this is one of my absolute all-time favorites and a go-to, and I actually will score it as a 5.
Wow.
It makes me happy.
Awesome. All right, Mikey.
I am going to go with a 4.5 on this one.
Okay.
I would also say that I don't think we've done it officially yet. If we've done Midnight, the Stolen Earth and whatever the other one is called afterwards, but that 2-part that comes afterwards, I think this prelude is better than the 2-part actually ends up being when all is said and done. Especially when we talk about the results of the end of that 2-parter. So, if the season had ended here, it would have been maybe even up to a 5. But
oh wow,
I could see that. 4.5 for me.
Okay, Mary.
I'm also going to give it a 4.5. I mean, there's the bug's clunky, and
literally.
Yes, literally. And I don't believe Rose needed to be there at all. She was shoehorned in. But there's a lot to like in this episode. It's very thought-provoking. The performances by especially Catherine Tate and Bernard Cribbins, and the woman playing Sylvia Noble, whose name is escaping me now. There's just some really great, wonderful, nuanced performances here, and that alone, I think, would recommend it. But the story is good too, so I think it's a pretty solid 4.5.
Excellent.
David, that arm drop from the gurney was like,
I had a feeling that wasn't David.
Was Oscar worthy. I wonder. You're probably right. It probably wasn't him.
Yeah, I was going to say that could have been his biggest Hugo Award nomination right there.
Frank
Best
the
drop
intern.
on Doctor Who.
That was Frank the intern.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you want your big moment? Put on this suit. You're about the right size.
You're going to be the next Doctor.
Now, okay. Damn it, I hate when we all are on the same page again, I would have given this a 5. I love this episode. I really enjoyed it, but I just think there was too much peroxide in this episode. So I'm thinking that I'm going to have to also...
Oh, my God.
I'm probably going to have to give it a 4. And
wow. It takes a whole point.
Well, half of it was the peroxide, the other half was that damn bug and everything. So it just went right there. 4. I love the episode. I think I would love to see more episodes like this, like I mentioned earlier in the night. But I think the characterization, it made me realize how much of an amazing actress Catherine Tate is. Mm-hmm. And it's like, now I'm cursing the COVID even more because we were supposed to interview her last year at Concaster Burris. And so I really would love to be able to talk to her and talk to her about this. This would be an amazing episode. I could talk to her probably as long as we talk tonight about this episode. Yeah. And there's just so much to get into. So we definitely, we're all across the board, but we really all love this one. It gets a total thumbs up. I wouldn't recommend it for somebody who doesn't know Doctor Who and hasn't seen the earlier seasons.
I think you'd be kind of lost.
Exactly. I think you'd be lost for somebody doing that. But, for somebody who's watching the series, I highly recommend this one. It's just a lot of fun. And, if you want a bug on your back, this is even better for it. So it's good. So let's wrap up this episode and thank everyone for being here. Real quickly, we did get a piece of email about our last episode.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. And, I love it. And this is just me complaining real quick that a lot of people went by just what the title was of this episode in some of the Doctor Who groups that we post to on Facebook. And the people at the Doctor Who for Nice People were going, I wish people wouldn't post in here when they don't like Doctor Who. And it's like, I kept on saying, listen to the episode. We love Doctor Who. We just don't like a couple things. Why do you have to put it has to be saved? There's nothing to be saved. It's perfect. It's like, really? Really?
Yeah, but we all know you named it that way to get that people to talk about it.
Dude, exactly. It's all about ratings. Come on. This is how we succeed.
If we had named the episode, if we had named the episode like things we'd like to see in Doctor Who, we would not nearly have gotten as many people involved.
That's right.
Exactly. We actually had a lot of people involved with the Facebook Live. We actually got some amazing comments.
We could have called it Notes to Chibnall.
Oh, that would have been
That's a great title. You should do that show.
Ode to Chibnall for our next one.
Do it.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. So we got an email from Sue Thompson, and Sue basically wrote, I've watched Doctor Who since the first show aired in the nearly 60 years. Well, not quite. I've seen and known many doctors. Jodie Whittaker is a brilliant and wonderful doctor, and all my doctor-watching friends agree. Why is there chatter about it needing to be improved? I sometimes suspect it's actually gender-biased, not truth. Given credit where credit is due, she really is one of the best doctors ever, and I'm super fussy ex-lawyer who is very discerning. Many of my friends would say, wow, if she likes it, it must be good. All credit to a great doctor. Yours sincerely, Susie Thompson from Sydney, Australia. Ooh. Susie, thank you so much. Yeah. And, and it wasn't gender bias. We all love on the show. We all love Jodie. We think she's fantastic.
And if you're loving what's currently going on with Doctor Who, I'm happy for you. I really am happy for you. I mean, there's certain things that I would like to see, but it just goes to show you not everything is for everybody. And if there are people generally getting things out of Doctor Who right now, I think more power to them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And
I like it.
Yeah, we all, if you listen to last week's episode, not one of us on that episode had anything bad to say about Jodie.
Yeah, we all love Jodie.
We do.
Yeah, we think she's getting a raw deal.
We have some problems with the writing.
Yes, the writing and the show running and the producing and BBC but we don't have a problem with her.
No, we put that show out because we love Doctor Who and because we love Jodie.
Exactly. And
not because we hate them.
No, we're all Doctor Who. We're all Doctor Who fans. We wouldn't be doing this week after week after week if we didn't love Doctor Who, And like I mentioned last week, we've lost co-hosts on the show because they fell out of love with Doctor Who.
And if I was one of those people who fell out of love with Doctor Who, I would no longer do this podcast.
Exactly. I wouldn't either. Mary wouldn't. I wouldn't be up here BSing you guys, saying, trying to badmouth a show week after week. That's just not what I wouldn't want to listen to a show like that. That's just not what it's about. This show is based off of a love of a show that's been here for almost 60 years. And us getting older makes it more appreciative of how long it's lasted too. So I think it's one of the it's a great, great show. And sorry for anyone who took it that we were bad-mouthing Doctor Who. We were not. We were not bad-mouthing Doctor Who
but
at all.
On the other hand, we want to be honest and talk about the things that are bothering us that we think could be improved.
Exactly. Right. We don't go through this with blinders on our, like a horse with blinders on, thinking that everything's hunky-dory and perfect. It isn't. It is far from it. And we're just talking ways we would improve it or ways we think the show can be improved. And if you don't think so, that's your opinion. This is our opinion. That's why
we had it as a public discussion, because we wanted to hear what everybody thought and what everybody, would do.
Exactly. And we got some pretty good comments while we were doing the show last week from the Facebook Live people, commenting and saying what they thought of it. And I think we're going to have to be doing more of these Facebook Live things just so we get comments and we can be more interactive with the audience. And I think this is just the way I think the show is going to eventually evolve.
Yeah. Our next discussion is going to be like why we hate Jodie.
On that note, Mr. Mike Gordon, let's we will be back. We will be back in 2 weeks, and we are going back to the Third Doctor era, and we're going to be looking at Colony in Space. It should be a lot of fun to talk about that one, and that I think is the Doctor and Joe Grant, if I'm right. And so it should be a lot of fun to see the Doctor, and I think it's a master story. And so it should be a lot of fun. And I haven't seen it before, so this is all new for me. So,
oh, wow. No, I thought we did that on ESO.
No, we never did Colony in Space.
Wow. Because I've seen it before. I don't know why I saw it. And that's a rare one. That's rare that I've seen one and you haven't.
Yeah, I know. It's like, especially the Third Doctor era.
Oh, it's a very interesting episode.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be a lot of fun. Neisha, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. It was a great episode to talk about.
Anything you want to promote Traveling TARDIS or your stuff real quick?
Well, Traveling TARDIS, of course. We usually air on Tuesdays. I think they were on just before us live. I think I should be on myself in next week or the week after. I might be on an episode, but please join us because our shows are live, I believe, on Facebook, and those are very fun and interactive. Would really enjoy it. Just, of course, follow Diversely Geek on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, all the good places, and Instagram. And definitely for interactive conversations, we have Diversely Geek Discussions, which is actually a blog channel where we're discussing through the day what's going on in terms of the worlds of fandom. And so that's a lot of fun. And just look forward to the changes that are coming up in terms of the foundations, and we'll keep you abreast of what we have coming.
That sounds awesome. We'll have you on the show again soon. It's always fun.
Yeah.
And of course, let's thank our regulars. Miss Mary Ogle, thank you very much, birthday girl.
Oh, thank you so much. This was just a really fun time talking about this with you guys.
Anything you want to promote?
Well, you can find my artwork at maryogle.com or on Etsy at eVision Arts.
Excellent. And Mr. Mike Gordon.
As always, it's my pleasure.
Excellent. And for folks who haven't found out yet, the second episode of the Dragon Con report has been released to cross-promote with some ESO stuff out there.
Absolutely.
And so
and also this new episode of this week of the ESO has Neisha on it as well.
Exactly. Neisha is just taking over the network. She might just need her own show for the network. I think she's just wandering
around the station lost.
Hey, give me the chance. You never know. I'll find something to talk about.
I think she will, definitely. And it's a great discussion we had over on Earth Station 1 this week. So definitely a lot of fun. We talked about science.
Science!
Thank you. It was awesome. So we actually had, a great discussion. And we also talked to actor Scott Valentine on that episode. So it's definitely a lot of fun. And Earth Station 1 and the Dragon Con report, please check them out. And of course, I'm not going to beg and plead about the Patreon. I do that all the time anyway. So definitely want to hear from you guys. Feedback at earthstationwho.com. Until next time, my friends, stay safe, hug your loved ones, and we'll see you next time on the Earth Station Who podcast. Peace, and we are done.
You have been listening to Earth Station Who, a bi-weekly pop culture podcast dedicated to all things Doctor Who, featuring talents from across the universe. All topics on the show are the sole opinions of the individual and are used for entertainment value alone. You subscribe to our podcast up on iTunes, Stitcher, or follow our blog at www.esopodcast.com. You can also follow us up on Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. If you enjoyed the show, please leave feedback up on iTunes.
Everyone these days could use a little support, and your friends at the ESO Network are no different. With the ESO Network Patreon, the cool thing is when you help support us, it's you who will benefit. With 4 tiers starting for as little as 25 cents a week, you can listen to some of your favorite network podcasts early, hear exclusive content, maybe get some ESO swag, or even possibly take a shot at the geek seat. All you need to do is sign up at patreon.com/ESO Network.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.